executive session.
A second?
Second. All those in favor? Very good. Come out of executive session. First, let's stand and pray with me. Pledge of flag. Lord, thank you for allowing us to gather here this evening. We ask that you watch over our families that we've left behind at home. We ask that you watch over our city. We ask that you watch over our county and our nation. And we ask that you watch over our decisions that we make, that they always glorify your name. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, before moving forward, I'd like to introduce our interim city manager, Mark Musselwhite. Mark's been with us all month, and if y'all have time and haven't gotten to meet him, I suggest you get back to City Hall. Please do. First thing, approval of the agenda. Let's add Mr. Wade Rhodes to the agenda, right as number 6, if y'all don't mind. Is there any other additions or deletions?
We need to strike that clean.
Yes, sir.
We need to strike that out. Number 18.
Thank you, sir. Got the clean. We can strike out the United Roofing invoice, correct?
No. Because we really don't need to talk about handbook.
No.
So we can strike that out.
We can go ahead and strike out the 4th of July since we already voted on the fireworks. We're gonna work on entertainment.
Let's keep going.
No, we need to set that date. If you wanna go ahead and set that date, we can go ahead and set that date tonight. If you want to, Andrew. If not, table it for next month.
Let's table it. We'll talk about things.
We'll leave it down there and table it then.
The DPI contract for the printer service. Do we need
We
to?
need to table that,
Table
keep it on there for
Okay.
next month. All right. Well, we'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
I'll make that motion. That the agenda is amended.
A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor? Very good. All right, let's move on to appearance and public comment. Is anybody here? Yes, sir.
Just two small things.
Yes, sir.
You know you thought this was done. The truck, Jake Brown thing?
Yes, sir.
That was passed for 3 streets. And that one was put on Demorest down there.
And I'm glad you brought that up. I was aware of that, and will you check on that for us? As far as the Jake Rick sign, make a note, call me, I'll fill you in. Okay.
And the second thing is public meetings. I'd like to ask that all public meetings be added to the calendar for City Hall.
Okay.
You know, online,
You're talking specifically about committee meetings.
any public meeting.
That's easy enough.
Yeah, I mean, the only, one you see now is the monthly council meetings.
Yes, sir.
So we scheduled right now, currently, we have EDA and, park meeting.
Correct, yes, sir. Very good.
Thank you, Johnny.
We do have a park committee meeting for next Wednesday, and it's open to the public, so.
But if you don't know when it's gonna happen, thank you so much, Johnny.
All right, let's move on to, appreciation announcements. Mark, I'll let you take the lead on this.
Sure.
And introduce everybody.
Thank you. Chief, Ruckman, if you'll come forward with your guys. I'd like to spotlight our city employees with great things that they've accomplished individually and or as a team and a department. And you had some weeks ago. So we'll turn it over to you, let you share with the trophies that you won, and give us a little background on what all y'all were able to accomplish.
Okay. We were recognized by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. We actually got second place this time of agencies of 1 to 10 officers. We've been lucky enough to place in that category the past 4 years. What they do is they evaluate our traffic safety efforts as far as our training, public education, enforcement, different areas like that. So we're very, very fortunate. And it's not me, it's them. It's all because of their efforts. So they deserve those honors.
I see 3 trophies back there. Which are the 3 categories?
The first one is the agencies 1 to 10. We placed second place in that, and the second one is that I was awarded Coordinator of the Year and Network of the Year. Currently, there's 16 of these networks in the state. Each month we have trainings in this area. They're in my region, which is the Northeast traffic. There are 40 different agencies, includes all the sheriff's office within a 10 or 11 county radius, GSP, DNR, all the state agencies. So, very fortunate.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Trophies up front, so maybe possible newspaper inclusion?
Yeah.
We can. You got one of the wrong ones, but.
Yeah, I grabbed one of the wrong ones. I need to grab the right one. I grabbed.
Do you want me to come back
Okay,
like tomorrow and get you with get the rare ones? Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Matthew. Fantastic.
All right, next is Kate Lancaster. Come on forward. What I want you to do first is tell everybody what it is you do, explain your job, and let's talk about these accomplishments that you have done.
I'm Dave Lancaster, and I work now at the sewer department, running the sewer plant.
And what you've done is he's done, tell them what your status is now.
This year, I've been able to get my Class 3 wastewater treatment operator's license, Class 3 water treatment license, wastewater laboratory analyst license, and my Class A CDL.
Well, that's tremendous in that, because again, without him being certified in the Class 3, we'd be, obviously, he wouldn't be here doing what he's doing. And so your goal is then, tell us how you're gonna go, get your goal to be the Class 1 operator.
I'm looking forward to in the future, Class 1 dual certification, water and wastewater, with my water operator's license, and then finish my bachelor's degree.
And where do you go take these classes for your class?
So Georgia World Water Institute and Georgia Rural Water offer trainings throughout the state. So you kind of can go at your own pace based on your experience and that sort of thing. So there's also brackets, a time frame that they limit. You have to have X amount of years of experience for each license category. So.
And all 3 of these things gave him a pay raise too. So that's the best part about that continuing education there, is those pay raises. So I just wanted to tell you, thank you. Let council talk to you here about great accomplishments.
We really appreciate your hard work. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for the asset. Thank you all for investing in me. I appreciate it.
Stick with us.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. And last but not least, if I can have Brian and Brent come forward. Y'all have anybody else? It's just you 2 here. Well, these guys here, when we were all freezing inside with this horrible cold snap that we had on the holidays with our public works and water department, these guys made some serious timing of service calls. There was 79 911 calls to these guys. And everything started on that Thursday afternoon. And everybody was off starting at 2. And Brian, for 2 days, did it by himself. He was letting his other employees be with their families. He did 38 calls in about 24 hours. In the water, in the cold, and I've seen Brent and these guys, when they've got water leaks and a breakage, they don't think twice about the temperature when they're going in up to their chest. And they're just taking stuff out of their pockets before they go in, and then went deeper than their hip boots that they can do. And I've only known them for 3 weeks, and it's hard to not be impressed with what these guys and the rest of their team did. And I wanted these guys to come forward, to be thanked, and I gotta tell you, Ron's a salary employee, just overtime, no. So, it's a real thankful job that they did to have us back to normal with our water structures, and to save everything that they saved from that water that we needed and others were struggling to get, and they kept our Demorest water system flowing. So, with that.
And I'd just like to echo those comments for the simple fact that there were many people in North Georgia who can't say that, because a lot of them didn't have water. So we have water here because of your efforts and your team's efforts, and you don't know how much we really appreciate you. Thank you.
These guys were out on Christmas night. How many guys did you have out on the road on Christmas night?
8, 9.
8, 9 guys on Christmas night, away from their families, riding the lines.
Midnight.
That's right. I couldn't get over it.
We'll have to say the mayor went out there too.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that.
I know, but I did.
I just couldn't get over it. Had to go out and see them working and tell them how much I appreciated them. But it was unbelievable. So when you see these guys, make sure you thank them.
I know they don't want the appreciation. You can see they're both embarrassed. But it was serious what these guys in their department did for the city.
Correct.
We had one crew that started at 8 o'clock Christmas morning, fixing water main, so. And they all came without complaint, and knew it had to be done, and this is, as a boss, I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
Good group of guys.
Thanks, we appreciate it. All right, let's move on. Mr. Rhodes, thanks for coming again.
Appreciate that. My name's Wade Rhodes, I work for the Norton Agency, and do some developing. The building I showed you last month, I don't own that building. I built that for a client, just kind of manage the construction. But I understand you guys have already talked about this ordinance. Just 2 things I'd like to share with you. That building is called a flex system. And the reason is that it's got 4 tenants, okay, there's a 2-hour firewall between each tenant. But these are normally small businesses, they've got startup businesses, so they've got to go in there and start up a business and the users grow. So it's real easy to take down a firewall or open a firewall so they can have 2 spaces. Well, if you put a meter in there for each space, now that tenant's gonna have 2 water meters, 2 water bills, 2 deposits, and so it kind of takes away from this being a flex space. So it's just a lot easier if the landlord provides the water as part of the lease. So that way there's only one person to be in charge of the water. The other thing I just want to briefly say to you, I know your ordinance, I understand it. I believe you have some lenience in there if there's an economic advantage for the city of Greenwich. So this building is not in your city limits. But Demorest is in Habersham County, and an important city in Habersham County. And commercial buildings like this produce jobs, businesses, which help, and they do produce taxes for the county, I get that. But I would say to you that any commercial business in this community, whether it be in Clarksville or Mount Airy or Baldwin, we're all in the same community, and it makes economic impact on all of us, no matter where it's located, by creating jobs for people who live here. So I think you can waive on your variance if you wanted to, if you thought that it was the right thing to do. But I just wanted to share those 2 points with you, that the building is a flex building and the reason behind that, and that Demorest is, in Demorest is economic development for Clarksville, when they're involved in this together, so. Anyway, I just share those two thoughts with you, respect your opinion, we'll do what we gotta do. We gotta move, the building is fully rented, and tenants are waiting on the CO, and we can't get a CO without water. So, we'll do what we gotta do, but just wanted to share those two thoughts with you.
I appreciate your words.
All right,
Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to council appointments. This is the time that we look at our charter. Our charter says that we can have a council member oversee each department as a second level of a backup for the city manager. Conversations, correct? So I would like to keep most of those the same. Sean, I would ask that you would cover as the liaison at City Hall, went over the finances. John and Andrew, I would ask that y'all cover the water department, the sewer, the park, the streets and sidewalks. And Donnie, I'd ask that you would cover the public safety as far as the fire department and the police department. Is everyone okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Also is the time for Mayor Pro Tem. John, I appreciate you serving for the past year as Mayor Pro Tem. Sean, will you serve as Mayor Pro Tem for the next upcoming year?
Sure.
Very good, thank you. Let's, move on to annual reappointments. We're gonna do this as one slate, with our city accountant being Ed Burton, our city attorney being Thomas Mitchell, city engineer being Ben Turnipseed, magistrate judge being Robert Sneed, fire chief being Jonathan Knight, police chief being Robin Crockham, public works director Brian Popham, city clerk and full-time city clerk, removing the interim status, is Megan Chastain, and interim city manager Russell White. We'll entertain a motion to vote all those in at once. Do we have a motion to do so?
I make the motion that everyone that you just read out, we accept and in the position that you read.
Very good. Thank you, sir. A second?
Sure.
Thank you. All those in favor? Very good. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem needs to be voted on too, that included in that group.
That was not included in that group, but can we, go back and vote, entertain a motion to vote on Mayor Pro Tem? As shown. We'll entertain a motion to vote on Mayor Pro Tem.
I'd like to make a motion that Sean be the Mayor Pro Tem.
A second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor? All right, approval of the minutes from December the 8th. We'll take a minute to look over those minutes, unless you already have, let me know. All right, does everybody have time to read over those and make sure?
Just a.
Yes, sir. have read through the minutes and okay with the minutes, we'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
A second? All those in favor? Thank you. All right. Let's move on to manager's report. Mr. Musselwhite.
Right. Our first manager's report is coming from our chief Mike. They had a total, this is for the month of November, total number of calls was 91, including 6 fires, 1 outside. Out of those fires there, 57 medic, 22 of those calls were outside. 7 service calls, 4 were outside the city. 17 good intent, with 3 outside the city and 3 false alarms. The department completed a total of 143 hours of training, completing testing and maintenance on all SCBAs, completed pump testing on all apparatuses, and process of hose testing. For our police department, again, for the police department, Chief, your report is for
December.
December.
Sorry.
Officers had a total of 248 calls for the month of December. Of those, 6 domestic calls, 5 physical calls, and 1 verbal call. Officers responded to 5 disturbance calls at the ER at the hospital. Officers responded to 10 traffic accidents, 7 accident reports, including 1 hit and run. Officers responded to 25 traffic stops and issued 18 citations. Officers completed 11 incident reports. Officers attended a total of 60 hours of training during the month of December. The chief completed 3rd and final week of FBI Law Enforcement Executive Development Program during this month also. The police department was recognized at the Governor's Highway Safety Banquet with those awards there also.
And they assisted in helping with water leaks too, right?
Yes, they did. They rode streets and reported and helped with any traffic situations with that. Under our public water, we have 14 emergency locates, 172 locates, 193 work orders. They fixed 14 leaks. This is for the month of December.
Now, I don't think that Brian had the opportunity to add all the leaks in for Christmas.
Correct.
Because I don't.
We know that's not all there. That's why, so we'll come back to address that one. And then they set 2 meters. And again, their calls that I was talking about was their 79 calls that started really, like I said, on that Thursday, right there before the holidays. Then their other items that they covered was, with their leaf and brush and things of that sort for them. So very busy last 7 to 8 days for public utilities. And that's it.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
I would say to recognize GCIC employees for the last 4 months of the year, significantly increasing the amount of revenue
Yes.
that they brought in too.
Chief, you like to address that?
Yes, sir. We talked about before we got a new company, and that new company that we acquired, they've been running a good bit of, hopefully we'll keep continuing the way that it is. It should.
Good. I appreciate that. That was a nice increase. Any other questions about the manager's report? Or any direct questions to our chief? Let's move on to review of finances.
I'm not quite sure how y'all have done this in the past?
In the past, we've just kind of looked at it for numbers and hit the highlights. I think that going forward, we may make a few changes to how these are presented. But Mark, if you've had 3 or 4 weeks now, what things stand out in your mind over these finances that you'd like to talk about?
Well, I'm still putting my arms around these numbers and so forth. And, talked a lot to Alan last week and this week and putting together some different things. And I'm gonna deviate just off the numbers for a second. Because we've had some emails and some discussions about different financials, different way to report to y'all the financials, different things that everybody would like to see. And Alan and I are taking those ideas to go get down to what is it you want to see to help you to put it together this way or this way, so that at any point in time, you can pick up this piece of paper and say, hey, this is where we are at this time of year.
What I think would also be good, something that the public could have, along with the agenda, to have, to know, be able to look at these numbers, or important numbers.
Well, I would like to suggest that we maybe have our CPA come back and present a few minutes of these numbers in the overview. And, he's willing to do that, I know, because I just asked him, would he be willing? I just think it's too important for us not to give him that amount of time, so that we can ask a question, he can explain it to us. Why is it this way? Why is it that way? So that we can go through here. Because again, cash on hand, the cash reserves, that income and expenses coming from the water and sewer, and expanding that water and sewer is just vital to the city. You know, where the water is just your cash register, and kind of like your sewer is kind of like your lost leader in bringing things in, because that sewer is so doggone expensive. And it's so expensive because we have to deal ultimately with the Chattahoochee, Hazel Creek, and some of those standards that we have to get put on by EPD. So, I think overall we're finishing up in a good situation. Now that I've talked about them, I've talked with our auditors on things we should have done. We need to look forward to going forward with those going forward, to see how quickly we can get those in, because they have to be completed by June 30th. And, so I'd just like to see that change, consider that. But I just think the financials, anybody that wants to come to the meeting needs to be able to see, hey, man, they're doing a great job. They need to tighten up here. They need to do a little better something here. And I just think that, again, it's that education and that information. We walk away, or somebody asks you, say, hey, where do we stand? Oh, man, we got this going on, let me show you. So, unless somebody has a specific question, I just take it for that, as for a total difference going forward.
Full transparency.
Yes.
And with the numbers in your packet, that ends us on November the 30th. So we don't have a full year snapshot about remaining budget things that come in, so we can make sure that we're on track for next year too. But we do need to overlap those as those come in. Are there any questions? All right, let's move on to consideration of a traveler's insurance. Tab 2. Have we voted on this in the past as far as insurance? Do you remember accepting this in the past, or is it just kind of? I don't remember voting on it before. Okay.
What did y'all have to do with information?
No, I appreciate that. I'm not faulting you.
No, I understand.
Thomas, do we have to vote on insurance every year as these come through? Yes, sir.
Yeah, those need to be voted on.
Okay, very good. All right, so we have this in front of us with an amount on here. We're entertaining a motion to accept this. Now, one thing we talked about in the work session is looking to make sure that our water towers are covered, some other things, make sure we do a full audit. So we may have to vote on this again next month, but let's go ahead and vote to proceed if it is your feeling to do so with travelers that we see in front of us. We'll entertain a motion to accept this new policy that's laid out in front of us today.
And then if anything's found to be lacking, we'll change this.
Mr. Mayor, I know that Mark had asked us to, the list that I looked at, I know that there's at least 5 cars that need to be taken off.
Taken off?
Yes.
None added?
Our old cars. We added our old car, or our new cars, but the old cars need to come off. He's got all of us doing that. So it may be different. The amount may be different once we do that.
Going up's a problem, going down's not. All right. That's good news, because our auto insurance went from $47,000 to $76,000, so hopefully, hopefully we can get that cut down some.
The prison ban makes a
I was
difference.
about to say the same thing, the prison van, Travelers has a hard time,
And I see that on here.
and they got excited when I told them we could be deleting that, and now I'm gonna tell them.
Well, ask if we can take the seats out of it and just have it as storage.
Maybe an Airbnb.
Seriously.
If it's not being used right
If
now,
it's not being used
you can
for
just carry regular
a
liability.
15-passenger van, maybe it'll be cheaper. Because now they're asking for us to train them with defensive driving and show 6 years of driver history. There's a lot of checks that go into that.
Is that just a certain amount of mileage that we?
Correct. Yeah, we have name drivers for that one car. Mhm.
Is that a savings that we can look at for anyone that drives a city vehicle? Your travel, is that a possibility?
Well, the driver normally is the guard.
No, I'm
It
talking
was,
just
it was Greg.
in the city.
I believe Greg was the driver and the guard was the passenger.
No, they had to
Opposite?
take it.
Opposite?
They had to take it back to the
Okay.
prisoner for this.
It's the issues the passengers.
He just
That's
had to
what
be in there.
That's why the prices, because of the inmates.
All right. You might find out if we can, like, literally send them a picture of the seats out of the van. We'll see if it would save us money until April.
Yep, I'll check on that.
Okay. All right, we'll entertain a motion to accept this as it stands, with Mark has directed to make the changes over the next month and bring this back to us again.
I'll make a motion that we accept this as it is with the intention of changing if it is lacking in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, very good, thank you. A second for that?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thanks, guys. Let's move on to health insurance. This health insurance, we heard about it here in work session. This is seemingly a comparable or a better product than what's being offered now for an annual savings of how much, $90,000? Wow, $90,000 in savings. What's that exactly?
I don't think I can read this.
It only says, I don't have all of it.
It's in one of my emails.
That's okay. I just wanna make sure Matthew's got it.
90,000, gotcha.
I'll get him all, I'll get you all you need, Matthew.
I got a big stack of stuff right here.
I loaded him down.
So all those, will entertain a motion to accept our new, employee insurance policy.
Make that motion.
Thank you, sir. Second? All those in favor? Very good. Moving on to, printer contract. We talked about this, we need to table this. We'll entertain a motion to table the printer contract.
Make a motion to table the printer contract,
Thank you, sir.
with DPI.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor to table? Very good. We'll move on to, prison ban. I'll ask if, that you table that until our first meeting in April. Entertain a motion to table that until April.
I'll make a motion to table the consideration of disposition of prison ban until April.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Let's move forward of consideration of LMIG. We've talked about that LMIG. I think you already have that letter prepared. But there needs to be one change made to that letter before you send that to the state. Does anybody have any changes you would like to make to that letter? Minus changing that one street to Ohio? If not, we'll entertain a motion to accept this and send it off to the state.
I'll make that motion, to approve the LMIG projects with the, change of Walnut Street to Ohio Street.
Thank you, sir. A second? All those in favor? Very good. Let's move on to consideration of plans for, our new municipality building. Right now, we heard from ACG Solutions on a couple of controls, cameras, getting our new computers moved up there. This is necessary to move City Hall to that location. With that top tier camera system, the $12,000 camera system, y'all were confused. It would leave us at $33,040.75, and that includes two guys working on Friday and Saturday. It might be a little bit cheaper. If y'all choose to approve all three of the quotes, the $12,000 camera system, the relocation, the control systems, I would ask that you build in at least one camera for the gym in that motion. So that at a minimum of one. So, we'll ask for a motion to accept these bids as set forth, and please specify whether that's the $9,000 system or the $12,000 camera system. Anybody want to make that motion? We need it to move City Hall.
Anybody wanna have any further discussion on 9 versus 12?
Where are we with that building City Hall? Where do we stand on that project?
Where we are right now, if I may.
Please.
Turn back to the layout, which is the first page, number 6. Basically, Brian and his guys are painting as we speak. They're going to, as you can see in this layout, is the existing counter that we have now in City Hall will be moved. The existing shelves and everything would be in this secured area right here. And so that due to the monies being held right there, those ladies are secured in that area. Nobody's walking back there. We would build a new office here for the city clerk, and in that way, that would have access to her office and not anybody entering back here. Then Rhonda's office would be on this side here. And so we are presently working toward that. They have to frame these walls. Basically, if y'all are okay with the layout, Brian and his guys are ready to start framing those walls tomorrow. And in your question, you had asked something about the auditorium and those things. I feel like that is the next place for me to look, if that is the direction that y'all want me to go to. That would be where we focus next on that. Because let me get this part done, and then we can figure out need some direction with the auditorium and the sound and all those kind of things, and who we'd be hitting up to look at that information. And, all I need is some contacts, some people that can say, hey, this is what we can do, this is what we would need to do to better have meetings and have the right sound and be the live streaming and so forth with those options. So finish this, and that's my next place to go. Any questions on the basic floor plan? Because again, this plan can still fit anybody else, any other department. You know, they can have secured areas, because there'll still be a secured area at this point right here too. Because again, if the police were ever to move down that way, they've gotta have specialty things for them, and whether it works for them or not, but it will work for what we need at the present time. And the auditorium is the next location.
Now, talking Brian too, these walls that they build down there won't be built to the ceiling, and they'll be dropped down about just a few inches so the air can flow without costing us even more.
Or a separate system.
So the code that's on right now is for the camera system, the cabling for each one, and the network relocation.
And you might as well encompass, this new plan that Mark has in front of you on that new utility wall. Have you, does anybody, let's first have a conversation, does anybody have anything you'd like to change or modify or questions about the plans that are laid out in front of you?
This is a really good use of space. Somebody put some cameras in this.
Well, it's a lot of space that's there, and then this other open end would just be where they can, you know, a waiting room.
Yeah.
Where they can sit down and fill out an application if they were doing it by hand, things of that sort, so.
And luckily Megan, realized here at the last minute that it needed the wall around the utility counter. Thanks, Megan. I don't think that was realized early on.
So the ladies will not have any issue. Obviously, we're not going to have a drive-through, but we are going to, set a drop box outside. And that is obviously one of the, security camera issues that we met with them on. And, our ladies we'll just have to check that box once or twice a day. For anybody that is used to, I know that's a big deal with that drive-through. But we'll have the drop box there in order to make that happen.
Very good. Does anybody want to talk about the plans? Does anybody have a thought that it's a good idea, bad idea? You want to see something change? Let's go. All right, if not, let's entertain a motion to accept one of the two camera systems, the movement of the computers, data lines, and access controls, and the plan that's sitting in front of you.
Can we clarify again the difference between the, 8,000 and 12,000?
The 9,000?
9,000 and 12,000.
Apparently, the $9,000 camera system only allows for, I believe, 6 cameras, he said.
16.
16.
And it tops out right there.
And the $12,000 system is a better system, and we can add more cameras to it.
A lot more.
The 9,000 only holds so much data. And so if you were to add, you would have to add a whole secondary system.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Make a motion, to approve, these contracts as, presented to us, and clarify the $12,000, security camera system.
Very good. Oh, and include the camera for the gym, if you may.
And a security camera, added, so that, we can, keep tabs on the gym.
Thank you, sir.
What about the renovations? Can we move forward?
Yes, that was included in that, right?
Was that
And
included?
the renovations.
Okay.
A second.
I'll second all of that.
I love it. All those in favor to move forward with that long motion? All those in
Fine.
favor? Very good, very good. All right, thank you, sir. All right. During the work session, Andrew, we talked about a community yard sale to be hosted in our gym. Maybe in the 1st of April. Do you wanna go ahead and set that 1st of April meeting now? Or do you want to wait till later?
I think we need to make sure the bathrooms are intact before you go back there.
Well, yeah, definitely, so,
It would definitely be where we had to make the. We could, but
I was just thinking Port John's worst case, if you wanted to set the
Some of
date.
them, they're not in
Because
good
I just
shape.
don't know what we're gonna run into.
Just some kind of bathroom system, because where they're at now, there's only one ladies all you can use and two, urinals, that's it. It's nothing that's workable.
Worst case, sure. I mean, worst case. Worst case.
sure. I mean, you take the first week in April, but,
That's fine.
okay.
okay, if you see something that needs to be changed to that, we need to get that out in front of everybody pretty quick, but we can get our Facebook person to make something to put on Facebook with a sign up sheet. We need to start setting stuff up, you know, I don't think that we need to have 2 months out, people bringing stuff in, we need to have just a week-long process of move in, clean up, and get out. Is this for Demorest only, or is this for the entire state of Georgia?
I think it should be city members.
Well, you know, I mean, our water customers really is what? We would allow them, you know, to basement. But I say right now, this first one should be city members.
Okay, very good. And maybe only so many spaces, like give everybody a 10 to 10 block or something.
Right.
Very good.
Oh, yeah, let's say 20 spots. 20 spots sign up.
We can get some painters tape them on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy to clean up.
It is. I like it. All right. We need to vote on that? We just need that's a community event. Okay. Let's move on to, annual SPLOST expenditure report. Thomas, do we need to vote on that and send that off to the paper, or has that already been submitted?
Yeah, it's
Very good.
already
Very good. So, nothing to do on that one. If there's nothing else, we need to entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
Then we got litigation and acquisition of real estate.
And personnel. Yeah, thank you. So, we're gonna hit on all of them.
Such as cybersecurity. Make a motion to, for us to enter into executive session.
A second? Andrew, yours first. All those in favor?